With us today, I'm going to have Greg, and let me put this on Bruce here, just so we can record that.
All right.
Greg, you want to introduce Bruce with us?
This is Bruce Kown, Franklin expert, STC holder of several Franklins on Cessnas. My mentor, he led me into this industry, so you guys got him to thank or hate for that. Retired Lockheed engineer, pretty much done it all, and he knows as much about Franklins and what they went on and where they went on, what makes them work, what accessories work, where, all that stuff, just a wealth of knowledge. And he brought some stuff he wanted to show everybody today and talk with you a little bit. Thanks, Bruce.
I brought Pistons for you today. They've been a problem with Franklin since I think about 2000, maybe 4 or 5. Like Greg said earlier, the 370 helicopter piston has been the mainstay and a replacement piston for most of the 150s, 165s, 180s for a number of years. They were really good pistons 20 years ago. But I stopped overhauling 150s and 165s in the early 2000s because I couldn't get enough good parts to put an engine together that I wanted to put my name on. And I gave all my old parts to Susan. So at that time, I was mostly interested in being retired, and I got a stable of Franklin airplanes, powered airplanes, most of them Cessnas, but I got a Blanca and a couple of others. But I've been building or having these pistons made at Wiseco since around 2002. I bought lots of them when I was in business on a regular basis. And I've let people have them that needed them. So a few years ago, Greg and I decided that maybe we ought to try to get these PMA'd. So I have a new contract going with Wiseco to make pistons. And this is the first set of the 165 pistons, stock 165 piston. 7-to-1 compression ratio. It has the part number embossed on top. It's a direct replacement. It's a better piston than anything Franklin ever made. It's forged. Being forged, it has a little more, the metal's more dense, and it requires just the fuzz more clearance. So it's made 1/2 to 1/1000th undersize on the skirt. So to my knowledge, since we've been making these, I probably made 100 of these and put them out as owner-produced parts, whatever. We've never had a failure because of the piston. If you guys are running, any of you running the 370 pistons, you ought to be scared. If you're not, I'm scared for you. And this is what it can lead to. This came out of Eric Track's Stinson. Greg and I took it out earlier, and it's a 370 piston, and it failed. Started in about 2004. Guy got killed in the Stinson up in Maine. Had a 370 cut down, disintegrate, come apart. He went into the water, and it was wintertime, and Stinson survived, but he didn't. He froze to death. So since that time, I've worked real hard, and this is the kind of stuff I put in my engines because I don't want a failure, because I don't trust these old parts anymore. Most of you guys I see out here have a standard 165 in there. You're okay. if you've got to cut down 19-370, or you're flying a 220 or a 180 with the pistons with the steel insert in them, you got to keep a real close eye. I got buddies. Donald Goodman's got a really nice Stinson Club member up in Virginia. He had a failure a year or two ago on his 108-5, and the piston disintegrated. He made it back. But these pistons are going to be available. If any of you guys want them, you can get them through Greg, or I'll let you buy them directly from the factory as owner-produced parts. I can give you a code where you can call and get you a buyer where you can buy them if you want to buy them direct. These pistons are already engineered. The drawings sent up there, the original Franklin drawings, and all the specs are at Wiseco. I have used them. Southern Aero has used them. In fact, Southern Aero decided they wanted to buy their own pistons direct, so they kind of backed into my stuff because I wasn't buying that much, and they're now buying and putting them in engines. They're available in most any compression ratio you want. I recommend on 165 staying exactly with 7-to-1. I've had some not so good results when people wanted to put 19-370 8.5s in a 165. They run good for a while, but they're going to start leaking oil. They're going to overtax your cylinders and overtax your case. The 19-370s that we make run really good in a 180. And also make them for 220s and the 235 helicopter. Greg, can you think anything else you might want to cover with him?
But same people that are working on PMAs for me are working on getting the Pistons PMA'd, so maybe that'll be a deal in the future to make it easier. After we hear what Mr. Work has to say, we may have some different ideas on getting owner-produced stuff provided and useful.
I'm hoping that some of the new rules will lighten up a little bit and let us go do things. Maybe I didn't say enough about what's causing the issue here. You guys look at this piston over. If you'll look in it, you'll see it has a steel insert in it that allowed it mostly for wartime use for military helicopters to run at high RPM without beating the top ringland out. If you look at this one very closely, it's dissimilar metals, and there's a crack forming in there. Now, I bought this piston from Robert at Southern Aero to go in one of my own engines. And when I got it inspected, I go, Robert, y'all sent me a cracked piston. So I got one engine left of these in it, and soon it's a 180. And as soon as I get a chance, cylinders is coming off, and I'll put those in it. But that dissimilar metal eventually is going to cause it to bite the dust.
Those pistons are Korean War, came out of the valves and the fillers, and they did great for a long time. Like I said, they were the preferred when I was in there. You cut down to 7-to-1, which we had approval to do, and you put them in and run them, and they were just bulletproof. But somewhere along the line here, after the 60 or 70 years, the corrosion started to feed in, and that's what's causing the problems.
The sad part about it is the same design is inherent in all the 220 pistons. Any of the 10.5s and 10.9 helicopter pistons have the same embedded steel ring in them. So I stopped using those pistons because I didn't want to fly behind them anymore. and I recommend if you guys got these pistons, we could cause an AD note anytime. I'm an IA, still an IA, just like Greg. But I have laid off with the FAA because I don't want to, we got Stinson Club, Stinson, the Cessnas, and all the people flying these Franklins. We got enough issues about creating problems for ourselves. But Pistons are going to be the next big thing for Franklin drivers. We've seen cranks, cams, and all of that. But this is something that is happening now on a regular basis. Questions?
As a 150 owner, do I need to be looking out for the same stuff?
No.
Could you repeat
150.
the question, please?
As a 150 owner, do I need to be making sure that I have the same issues as a 165 and 180?
The only reason that you need to be worried if you have a 19-370 piston in your engine.
Should be in the logbook entry.
Okay? It is legal to put a 19-370 piston in it if it's cut down. It could be a Franklin-made 19-370, could be an ECI. ECI and Susan made a bunch of them. I actually engineered those for Susan and was going to be a partner, but she decided she wanted to be the recipient of all the pistons, and that was fine by me. But if you got ECI pistons, they're probably in a little better shape because they're a more recent manufacturer and they hadn't had as long for the dissenter metal and the corrosion to creep through the joints. But if you got a 165 and you got 19-370s in it, you ought to be worried for two reasons. Number one, they won't stand the 8.5 compression ratio for a long time. If you got cut down, it's just a matter of time till they fail. Appreciate y'all inviting me this year.